Hello, everyone. I'm Jonah Swotes. Welcome to another episode of The Good Love, a show where a mom and son talk about the wounds that we all carry, but seldom speak aloud, and the beautiful mess of being human. In this week's episode, we talk about the just world theory, a cognitive bias that allows people to rationalize their lives based on their sense of morality. We dig into how this type of thinking can be harmful to people and can lead to judgment and a lack of understanding. We especially hit on the areas of status, money, and need, as these issues have caused a big rift in today's world. Let's dive into it.
Sometimes you gotta fail, taste the ground, and rise again for the good love to come along.
All right, here we are. Bring it on down to Podcastville.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 2 of The Good Love. I'm Jonah,
And I'm Steph.
your favorite mother and son duo.
Welcome to The Good Love with Steph and Jonah.
That's exactly what I just said.
You did? You said The Good Love?
I did. I'm Steph. This is Jonah.
But did you say, you said episode 2?
Of The Good Love.
Oh, I didn't even hear you.
It's amazing.
Live and learn.
Live and learn. Here
When
we
really-
are.
When really all I've done my entire life is listen to you as your mother. The irony that I didn't just hear you.
It's shocking stuff. Well, how are you, Mom? How are you doing this week?
I'm doing all right, honey. I'm actually doing really well today. I feel good.
Yeah?
Took a nice shower. Yesterday was a difficult day. It was a intense day of work, therapeutic work.
Mm-hmm.
And I was emotionally drained
Yeah.
by the end of the day. But it turned out to be a very, very big breakthrough. And I think it is going to aid us in our episode today.
Okay.
I do notice that I just had that half a wrap. Did you eat the other half?
Mm-hmm.
And I have food in all my teeth.
No, you don't.
But you won't be able to see
Yeah. That's the beauty of the
because
mic.
the mic. Bring it on down to food in your teeth, Bill.
So you want to talk about how what happened yesterday is going to aid us in our episode?
I don't know that I'm ready to jump into what happened yesterday just yet, but I think it will come up.
Okay.
And first of all, how are you?
I'm well. I'm getting ready to go on a week-long vacation,
Yes, you are.
which I'm very excited about. I go up to the north of Vermont every year with my friends from college.
Yes, he does.
One of my good friends, his family has a cabin on a lake.
True.
No electricity, no Wi-Fi, no cell service. A true disconnected haven. Those are few and far between these days.
I think my abandonment wound just opened up
By me leaving, or
I'm just
by me
kidding.
going to
to a no contact zone.
Yeah.
Judge Wapner, 4 o'clock. Judge Wapner, 4 o'clock.
My serenity need is feeling very excited and feeling like it's going to be met. So, other than of course the raucous, rampant behavior that we'll get into,
I don't think we can talk about that when you're back.
but the not having to receive notifications on my phone all the time is something I usually only get to do once a year. So I'm very excited about that.
Well, and didn't you just? I don't really know what these are for, but you just got a whole shitload of bandanas, didn't you? Do you want to
Yeah.
just share a little bit?
Yeah, this year we're doing like a Survivor themed competition with some games and activities up there that have a woody and naturey heart. We're calling our competition the Wood Cup in honor of the World Cup that is currently going on. A couple of years ago for the Summer Olympics, we did an Olympics of our own where we had, several different teams from different nations. This year we're just doing 2 teams, so we have our team colored bandanas, names to be determined.
And you typically, I noticed that you're the one that orders this stuff. Like the costumes usually come here. Is that fair to say?
I mean, when it comes to creating an event of this sort and organizing it, I tend to be at the forefront. I'm pretty good at it, and it's something I enjoy doing. And people people tend to respond well to my ideas. So yeah,
That's my kid.
keeps me humble. But yes, so the newest development this year is, however, our hosts, normally my friend Clay and his girlfriend Hannah, they moved out to Colorado. So this is the first year that they're actually flying back for this trip.
Right.
So usually they order a lot of the stuff too, but they're flying in on the day of. So
From the Colorado Rocky Mountain High.
I would say we should get a sound machine for this podcast so we can do little things like that, but we don't need it. We have my mother. So needless to say, very excited to go up to the great Northwoods.
Yes.
Have some fun, see some friends. And
yes, brother.
Yeah.
From another mother.
From you.
Brother from this mother. Fucker.
You got a little pep in your step today.
I got a little pep in my step.
Um,
Anyways, I did let you speak though. I let you explain it all. I'm just interjecting some fun,
some funnerisms.
some funnery.
Some funnerisms.
This is my version of a shenanigan.
Yes. This is Steph branded shenanigans.
I also am going to miss you this week.
Oh, thank you.
I feel a mix between I'm truly going to miss you and don't let the door hit you in the ass. Just kidding.
I'm going to miss you too, and I won't let it. So I'm glad we're on the same page.
Well, and I think this is a good place to start with the mother and son thing, because isn't that a healthy balance?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? The healthy balance. Oh, no. Can you reach back and just pull that curtain out?
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
See, the beauty in that is nothing changed since the beginning of the episode, but it was only when you noticed.
That's very good.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's how I feel right now, like this.
Ignorance truly can be bliss sometimes, ladies and gentlemen.
One other thing, I'm sorry. Can you just pull that lampshade down just a hair? See the lampshade? It's tilted back a little bit. This one. Yeah. See if you can. Let's see how well you do. A little bit more. Good.
Let's see how well I do.
Let it go. Let it go. So what I was going to say is a nice healthy balance.
Yes.
Between our deep love and bond as a mother and son, who right now live together. That won't be true for a few months from now. It's been a little, very, very big blessing in my life. It's been a nice little interlude. But the balance between our loving, wonderful mother-son bond and, honey, don't let the door hit you in the ass. Mom, don't worry, I won't. I think that's really a wonderful balance.
I completely agreed.
And it's said in jest. I mean,
Yes.
It'll be nice to have it's good to have some space. What's that song? This is not about mother and son, but there's actually a song. When I used to coach people full time, when I coached couples, they'd get very nervous when they felt like they needed space from each other, especially those of us who bear abandonment wounds. And there's a song out there from Chicago, actually. Everybody needs a little time away, I heard her say, from each other. And it goes on about lovers, though, right? Even lovers need a holiday, far away from the one that I love. Something happens to me. Did this happen to you? When I sing like that and then I see the camera, it's like I get catapulted to a different universe, and I literally want to stretch my arms out like this, and it's like it's me and the camera. Do you feel that way? Honest.
Not at all.
Really?
No.
Not even a little version. Like, look at the camera.
Uh-huh.
There's not even a part of you right now that feels like, oh, there's my lover. There's my friend. Like the camera and you want to be on it. There's not a part of you that feels that? Not even a little if you searched?
Not even a little.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
I guess that's a difference in our personality. One.
Yeah. I've never had a particularly great relationship with cameras. I've never had a bad relationship with them.
So, but you did say you never had a great one. What does that mean?
Well, I know.
You just never really had a relationship with a camera?
I know that, like, whenever you get your photo taken, you're always like, here, this is my good side. Like, you have a whole routine and a relationship with, like, your photo, and if you're on camera, you want to be on camera in a certain way.
I'm a master poser. It's true.
You have a version of yourself that you want to showcase on camera.
I'm going to tweak that in a minute, but go ahead.
I either don't remember that the camera is there, or if I do, I guess I'm just like, I don't know, be normal. Like,
so it doesn't really affect you that the camera's there.
I think it doesn't make me want to do anything different than how I would already be doing it, I guess.
I need to put the AC on. Keep talking.
Okay. I got it.
No, I got it.
Okay. Yeah, I guess but I've also haven't done a lot where I've been on camera a ton. Usually it's just for photos, and if it is ever for a video or anything like this,
Keep going.
The star power is too much. I can't.
I think you're a natural.
Thank you.
I really mean that. I think it's not that you don't have a relationship with the camera. Like you said, I think you haven't been on it a lot.
Yeah.
Well, you really have. You have a ton of pictures when you were growing up, but I do think you're a natural.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
I appreciate that. I'm sure I get it from you.
Me too. Anyways, but I wish you a wonderful, wonderful week.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm working. I'm not sure what I'm going to do, but I'm looking forward to my week as well.
Yeah.
Should we dig into what we're talking about? That was a nice little 15-minute opener.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
Should I take over or do you want to?
I can introduce the topic today if you'd like.
Go for it. I'm going to, after you do that, I'm going to read. You're going to talk about it more in the terms that you learned it in your course. And I might put a little bit more layman spin on it.
Okay.
Okay.
Why don't you introduce the topic then?
Are you sure?
And then I will flesh it out a little bit, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
You think that's the way to go? I don't want to upstage.
No, please.
Okay. All right. So today we decided to talk about the just world theory, or the just world fallacy, or the just world, what else is it called? Hypothesis. And I hadn't heard about this technically. I certainly understand the concept, but with Jonah getting ready to dart off to San Diego, University San Diego, for his master's in psychology, is that fair to say?
Mm-hmm.
I know your area is going to be family and marriage and family, but you're still getting your master's in psychology, correct?
Yeah, I'm getting my my master's in marriage and family therapy, which is a field it's a subfield of psychology.
So Jonah had to take some prerequisites because at UMass, his major he had a double major, I think we already mentioned, but Spanish and economics.
Not in that order.
Economics and Spanish.
Yes.
So, and he started out actually, if I may brag a little bit, in the Eisenberg Business School in the honors program and stayed in the honors program, but did not love the business aspect of things. So is that fair to say? And then you sort of transitioned into the economics and Spanish.
Not exactly.
Okay.
I went in undeclared. I went in not knowing what I wanted to do.
Well, right. I know that part, but you did get into you were in the Eisenberg School of Business.
Decided to apply to the business school. And then I was accepted and automatically transferred in. I thought I would have the choice once I was accepted to decide whether or not I wanted to do it, but I got put in, and then I decided I would let it ride, and I was in it for about a year and a half, and then I left and went back to economics. And at that point, I had studied abroad, and getting a secondary major in Spanish was quite easy at that point. So.
Well, and you also, that's a little bit downplaying it, you also love Spanish.
I do now. I didn't at the time as much. Living in Spanish-speaking countries has really increased my love for Spanish. I wouldn't say that the university aspect of it was helpful in me learning it, but it was not really, it did not add to my passion for learning the language or...
Yes, but that's totally fair. And what I know to be true is it aided you in the way, though, where it gave you the foundation that you eventually learned. I mean, that's what I remember is you loving, one of the things you were loving was going to different countries that spoke Spanish and being able to connect.
Yes.
With that language.
Post-grad, absolutely. I would say the reason that the major in Spanish, I have a little bit of like, I took some Spanish classes at UMass, and then I went and studied abroad. And sure, the Spanish classes that I had taken at UMass and taken in high school really helped me gain partial to full fluency while I was there. And then after I graduated, I went and lived in 2 more Spanish-speaking countries, so it further blossomed in those places. But the reason that I actually got the major in Spanish was because when I returned from Spain, my academic advisor essentially said to me, every class that you took over there, even though some of them were in English, he said, I can get you credit for them.
I didn't know this.
All you have to do is take 1 more Spanish class and you will get a major.
Wow.
So I said, deal. And I got a major, but the major part of it didn't really give me that much more than I already had. It was really the immersive experiences and the foundation that I had built in high school, and the first few classes that I took at UMass that helped me with that.
Well, I'll tell you what, slap a mic in front of you and you get the whole story.
There you go. You want to know.
I love to tell the story about when Jonah went to study abroad, speaking of Spanish, in Spain. And Kimberly Tedesco, my cousin, her daughter Julia went at the same time as Jonah, different colleges, different groups, different planes, but they were both in Sevilla. Mm-hmm. And Kim and I were very nervous. And we were it was our first kids ever to go abroad. We were texting and we were like, let me know when she lands. Let me know when he lands. So she hears from Julia and she got like 5 paragraphs. Oh, Mom, I miss you so much. This is what we've seen so far. And Julia had just landed and she had paragraphs to send her mother. And when I finally heard from Jonah, I texted Kim and said, herein lies the difference between a daughter and a son. I literally got landed with a period.
And I'm sure you can attest that I have sent that text every time I have landed in any airport ever.
Yep, every time. That's what I get. Landed, taken off.
Well, it's the truth. Just a much more pared down.
I'll take it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I will take that as long as I get something from you and no.
Anywho.
So the point is, Jonah has had to take some prerequisites leading up to going to the university. And he just took, I do not describe education in class as well, so I'm going to do my best here. He had to take personality,
Psychology of
the
personality.
psychology of personality class. And is this where this theory came up?
Yes.
The just world theory. And I'm going to read this. And then Jonah can piggyback from here. And we're going to talk about our own examples and, what we think. I think today's episode is going to be a little bit challenging for some people who watch it. So, and I'm open to being wrong, even though I'm usually not. I'm just
wrong
kidding.
and humble.
Kidding, not kidding. All right. So it's the just world hypothesis, a cognitive bias proposing that people get what they deserve. It is the assumption that actions inherently bring morally fair consequences, meaning good actions are eventually rewarded and bad actions are eventually punished, just like raising children, actually. Why we do it. First proposed by psychologist Melvin J. Lerner. Did you learn that?
No.
Okay. In the 1960s, this belief is a coping mechanism. I guess this is where the word fallacy might come in a little bit, huh?
Yeah, it's a cognitive bias. So.
Cognitive bias. Humans crave order, predictability, and a sense of control. Believing the world is inherently fair, I love this, allows us to plan for the future and feel safe, resting assured that if we act responsibly, we will be protected from harm. So I'm not going to, there's lots more to read, but I'm just going to say this part. The consequences that this is just a Google search. While comforting, this bias often leads to harmful behaviors, it suggests. And I'm interested to hear what you have to say, Jonah.
This is AI, I assume.
Yes.
The AI summary.
Yeah, I just looked it up for the episode.
Yep.
Victim blaming. When people encounter innocent suffering, they may assume the victim must have done something to deserve their fate. This preserves the illusion that the world is orderly and that bad things only happen to bad people. I'm going to tell you in a minute why I think this is a good reading. Justifying inequality. People may rationalize societal inequities, such as poverty or systemic discrimination, by assuming that successful people earned their status through pure merit, while those struggling simply aren't working hard enough. And then it goes on to how to recognize it, and the fallacy appears in everyday narratives, from fairy tales to news headlines. Being aware of just world hypothesis is crucial for overcoming implicit biases. I understand that this reading in itself sounds a little biased.
Well, let's talk about it.
Yeah, let's talk about it. I would like to just say, and then I will definitely pass it on to you, that one of the things I love about what I just read and what we're talking about is that it not only states the danger in it and the consequence, I guess that's a better word, consequence, but it also doesn't reverse blame. It doesn't only talk about victim blaming. It also goes on to state that people do it because humans crave order.
Yes.
Right. So it's not saying because humans are assholes, which we can be. I'm not taking away from that. But with this hypothesis, I think it's very important on our podcast to talk about. That's what we're talking about, essentially, is human behavior and getting beyond the you're an asshole theory, which I do. Right here, Bostonian, full-blood Boston girl, do believe sometimes it's as simple as you're acting like an asshole or I'm acting like an asshole. That does exist. That said, that's a first layer always. Mm-hmm. Always, in my opinion.
Yeah.
All right, Jonah, go for it.
Well, I guess to sort of take it at its base psychology level. Basically, the just world theory is the consequence of someone not being willing to change their existing view of the world to understand what the cause of something may be.
Can you say that again? I have to hear it twice to compute it.
Say
it exactly the way you just said it.
I'll do my best.
Please.
The just world theory is the consequential result of someone not being able to adjust their understanding of the world based on why something is being based on the cause of something. So
order and control,
right.
Trying to make sense out of something.
So when you're a child,
Yes.
the world is very black and white because it has to be, because child brains are not capable of understanding nuance.
Can you give an example of maybe?
May I just take people
Yes,
through the...
but I you can, but maybe give an example as well.
I'm going to.
Okay.
But I'm
Okay.
introing. I'm getting into where I'm going.
I got you. Adam, cut that out because my son was just rude.
Rude.
Rude. Did you just sing?
Rude.
Rude. I guess I was the rude one for interrupting, but I was really trying to coach
Yes.
for our listeners.
I will lay it out
I
very,
gotcha.
very simply.
Okay.
So the process of children learning is the process of acquiring knowledge and then fitting that into their existing mold of what the world is. So from the moment your brain starts developing as a baby, you're constantly taking in information and you are using that information to craft your understanding of things that are going on. When you're super young, it's sights and sounds and, using all your senses to depict the world. And then once your brain starts to form a little more, when you're 2, 3, 4 years old, you start to actually cognitively understand things about the way that the world works. You start to understand that, if you wave your hand at someone, they're going to wave back at you. You understand imitation. You understand that
This is the couch.
right. You start to associate names with things. You start to associate things with ideas. And all of this comes back to a form of mental categorization, which is known as schema. A schema is a way in which you think about something. So you can have a schema that relates to the couch, right? Your schema can be, I sit on the couch. The couch is green. The couch feels nice. The couch doesn't move. You can have all these ideas about the couch, but you go to someone else's house and all of a sudden you see another couch and everything that you knew about a couch changes.
Very good. Yes.
Right?
Yes.
All of a sudden a couch can be blue. All of a sudden a couch can fit more than 2 people. A couch can fit 6 people. All of a sudden a couch is a different height, right? And
Your little mind is rocked.
your little mind is rocked, and there are essentially 2 steps there's 3 steps to learning. The first step is called accommodation. Accommodation is taking a new idea and placing it into an existing schema. So it's saying, I know all these things about a couch, but now it's saying a couch can be blue, and placing that into your knowledge about couches. Now, what you'll then experience as a kid is something that's called disequilibrium, which is where an idea about something that you already knew about, a new idea, does not fit into the schema because it doesn't yet make sense to you. So that's the period of time where the child says, oh, couches are green. This can't be a couch because this is blue. So this can't be a couch. And there's a moment where the 2 ways of thinking about a couch are not integrating for a child. And they're in a state called disequilibrium. And in order to equilibrate, in order to reach equilibrium, they have to perform the 3rd stage of learning, which is called assimilation, which is successfully integrating that new idea into your understanding about the existing thing. So that's when the child gets, oh, couches can be multiple colors. I knew that a couch was green, but now I'm learning that a couch can be blue. And then moving forward, they see couches as something that are not just constrained to one color, right? They can be multiple colors, and that is okay with them. They're in equilibrium because they understand that that doesn't mean that it's not a couch if it's a different color. It just means that a characteristic of a couch is that it can be multiple colors. And then their imagination, their understanding of the idea is forever changed, and it can continually evolve. Now, when it comes to adults tend to be past that stage for the most part, and adults can certainly change their understanding of things, but they're not necessarily running into things daily that are challenging their worlds in the same way that children are. So adults tend to minimize things that change their world, right? We tend to try and make things less of a big deal, not give them the space that they deserve. And the just world theory can be a very handy way of not having to deal with the consequences of something that don't make sense. So, you know, basically, when you're a child, your parents, and you can attest to this being a parent, kids have to learn things in black and white to understand them, because the minds of children can't quite understand the gray areas of life. It's too nuanced. It would mean that the rules where children find comfort would be shaky, and that would cause them immense anxiety. They wouldn't be able to handle it. It would overload their brains. So as a way to teach children to behave, you have to teach kids that good actions have good outcomes and good consequences, and that bad actions will not have the same, that they will be met with bad outcomes or could have negative consequences. And this is a crucial thing to teach to a child, so that children grow up believing that, you know, to teach them how to contribute positively to society, to help themselves and to help others, to not harm people. These foundations have to be put into place. But the thing about just world theory is essentially a refusal to accept and understand the nuance and the gray area of life when it comes to actions and morality and things being good and things being bad. Because you're essentially extending the black and white structure that you teach children onto everything. You're saying, the reason that I am successful is because I'm doing good. I'm doing everything right. And if someone is not successful, they must have done something wrong. And it leaves no room for any of the nuances, circumstances, context, any of the so many additional factors that change a situation. It leaves no room for that, and it places the outcome simply on the morality of that person. And it allows you to judge that person in complete essence based on what is happening to them in their life, which ignores so much of what everyone is going through and what is happening in the world around us. You wanna add?
Yeah, that was beautifully said, honey. Beautifully said. Do you have more to say, or
No,
you ready
not
to
right now.
pass it right now?
Yeah.
So I think what I want to say to piggyback on all this is a few things. First of all, the way you described the child and development, it's true that, sure, to the basic eye, yeah, as adults, we don't go through it like that, but we really do.
We certainly do.
We are children in adult suits. I have a book, Stuffing Myself Silly, the story of a food junkie. It's on Amazon. And in that book, I coined a term, chidult, chidult, and I made up a definition, chidult. And it is the way we as adults walk around. We're children in adult suits. And we put these adult suits on, and boom, there's the just world theory, right? Now, this is the thing. I believe the reason we need a just world theory is what this thing said, as a coping mechanism. Okay, this goes back to what I was saying in the beginning. if you want to get better, and if you're listening to this particular podcast, there has to be a part of you that's into some sort of development or self-growth, or you've got a kid or a parent that you're trying to break through something and relate to. So with this just world theory, exactly what Jonah just depicted as childhood development, where do you do that in your adult life? Where do we suddenly go with our spouse or our partner or our kid or our work, right? Coworkers? That does not fit into what I know to be true. That does not fit. And instead of this being part of the process of life, so I get to go, I never really thought of it that way, or that doesn't make sense to me, or gee, this is my experience. We go, and then we go and sometimes talk behind people's backs, right? Because to me, what we're always trying to do, and this is actually my bottom line of life in this podcast even, we are fiercely committed to our tribes and connection. We are fiercely committed to connection. We want to fit in. We want to belong. We want a place. That's being human. So I think the just world theory is a coping mechanism, just another one for that, right? If I can't accept that somebody else is thinking something differently, and by the way, sometimes I can't, I come up with my own mechanisms to make sure I'm connecting elsewhere. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. The second thing I want to say, and I'm sure that there's more to expand on that, and we will. The second thing I want to say is you depicted beautifully what a normal developmental process is for a child that has decent parents. As you were talking, I know there's an audience and people out there who, I'll use myself as an example, grew up with a psychotic mother. So every day of my life was, just noticing that a couch was blue or green would have been a dream. Right? I'm talking early childhood, and I want to fit this in. I'm bringing this up because I really think it's important. You had a very different childhood than me. Mm-hmm. And I think it's important. That doesn't mean, by the way, I'm minimizing that you didn't have moments as well. But we had vastly different safety, perceptive safety in our childhoods. That's fair to say.
Yes.
And so I grew up literally every day with the ground changing. One day my mother thought she was Jesus Christ. The next day I was the enemy. The next day she wanted us dead. The next day she was so high off chemicals that she thought she could fly. And then 20 minutes after that, she dropped to a catatonic low. Like this was a daily thing in our lives. My mother couldn't help it. She was schizoaffective. So when you're talking about the just world theory, I would like to continue talking right now about the way you spoke about it, because I think the way you spoke about it in developmental terms is a way that we as adults can take that paradigm and that structure and literally heal our lives now, right? To see where how did you say it? Our equilibriums have been rocked because we've been challenged with a new vision of something, right? Or somebody's a different way of life.
Yes.
Right? But I think we also need to remember to speak to the people, and I know we will, how does the just world theory fit into people whose landscapes changed drastically every day? Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So I think that's what I want to bring to this. And the words equilibrium jumped out at me that as a child, oh, the couch feels good. The couch is green. Oh, the couch is comfortable. Oh, the couch is in my home. It's safe. And then, oh my God, they have a couch too, and it fits more people, and it's blue. I can't remember exactly how you said it, but it throws off, it
causes disequilibrium.
Disequilibrium. And what is it called? A schism or
a schema?
A schema. A schema. When the schema changes, it causes disequilibrium.
Yes.
And as I just brought to the conversation, there's a lot of different levels of that.
Yes.
From early developmental childhood, trauma versus no trauma versus somewhere in between, into adulthood with unhealed trauma versus no trauma somewhere in between, right?
Yeah.
And of course, get a therapist or go to a group or read a book, do something, because really you can't do this alone. That's my stand, right? Do Byron Katie. There's a million different ways.
Yeah.
Bring it on down to therapy.
Yeah, and I think another aspect that I want to bring to the table, it's obviously very easy. It's much easier to observe just world theory in terms of someone interacting with someone else. It's very easy to see someone look at someone and, judge what they're doing, why they are the way that they are. But I think that also everyone does it to themselves to a certain extent. I think that there's a lot of people who believe the just world theory and believe that their own lives are a product of the just world theory and will use the context of their own lives to make moral judgments about themselves and use it as a barometer for whether or not they're doing well, they're doing good.
Right here.
Thank you.
No, you forgot the mind blow.
So, I think
yes,
there's a very powerful, the idea of justice and fairness and deserving.
Let's talk about that.
Are all very, very commonly used and powerful ideas that people have been doing for thousands of years to rationalize what's going on in their lives.
Yeah, let's go there.
I grapple with it on my own sometimes. Am I getting what I deserve? We, especially in today's age where
yours is kind of opposite though, isn't it? Where you wonder why you feel good most of the time and others don't.
Yeah.
Is that fair to say? Am I saying that wrong?
Yeah, I think in today's age where, I think therapy has become a lot more popular and mental health has had a surge compared to what it used to be. And I know that my generation, we're very fixated on getting what we deserve. Like, I'm cutting someone out of my life because I deserve a better friend than this, or I am going to go on the keto diet because my body deserves love and respect and healthy foods. Like, yes, of course your body deserves healthy foods and you deserve to have good relationships in your life. But we also tend to hide behind, in my opinion, this concept of deserving because it is a structure through which we are able to make sense about the choices that we are making. And we use it to rationalize choices when, to be honest, in those moments, we're not sure if we're making the right choice or not. We're making a judgment call, right? We're doing the best we can with the information we have. And maybe it's the right choice, maybe it's not, but we're not okay sitting in that discomfort of ambivalence. We need to say it's what we deserve. It's what it's, Yes. And the truth is no one deserves anything. I think if you break down what the concept of deserving is, it's an implied correlation between a behavior and an outcome.
Yeah.
Right? It's saying based on the action that you took, something should happen to you.
Yes.
Based on the fact that I offered you a ride to the mall because you didn't have a car, I deserve your appreciation.
Right.
Right? And it is attempting to provide structure to actions and consequences. But the entire everyone's sense of what deserving is unique because we all have different things that are informing our sense of good and bad and morality and right and wrong. So there are definitely some principles in general where most people can agree on, you know, a good thing deserving a good outcome. But there are also clearly instances where someone might see something as good and someone might see something as less good.
Can I bring that home a little bit?
Sure.
So, because I think the example that I think one of the ways Jonah and I balance each other well, if I may, Jonah is, I mean, I know I'm your mother, but my son is brilliant. And the way you word things and speak things, you're just so good at it. And one of the things I'm good at is bringing it home and personal. And I think that the example you just used, I offered Jenny a ride to the mall. I think most people would agree that Jenny doesn't have a car and that you deserve appreciation, whether you get it or not. I think that's a good example of how most people, you just said that. There are certain things where most people will agree,
yes.
right?
Yep.
And I think that's a good lesson. Hey, Jenny, I'm your mom, and you don't have a car. And, you know, Jonah asked you for a ride if you wanted a ride to the mall, and you were kind of a jerk to him.
Yeah.
And you know, honey, that's not how I raised you, right? That's not going to give you a better life. That's always been my thought with Jonah. Mm-hmm. When I was raising Jonah, the good, the bad, and the ugly, I was trained by my therapist, Dr. Jan, and also this is what I inherently believed. Is this going to give Jonah a good life or a bad life? Tracy Brennan, your teacher. Jonah had Waldorf education for the first 8 years of his life, Steiner.
First 10, if you count kindergarten.
First 10. And Tracy Brennan, he also had wonderful kindergarten teachers. But hi, Tracy, if you ever watch this. She was a godsend. And she used to say to me, we used to negotiate things. One of we got close because I didn't fake it with Tracy Brennan. I would go to her and say, I don't agree with blah, 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 and I'm a single mother and I need to blah, blah, blah. And she'd go, well, how about if we do blah, blah, blah then? Because this is what I want you to say, Steph. And this is what you have to ask yourself. Jonah was, 5 at the time, 10, whatever, 8. I'll say 8.
For this specific blah, 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 it was probably around 9.
Okay. So Tracy would say, in 10 years from now, is this going to help his life or make it difficult? So Steiner does not believe in any kind of video or right media. I did. I knew Jonah's dad didn't believe in it. So I know he wasn't going to be getting that some of the time. So I negotiated with Tracy which games would be the least, have the least negative effect on you. Mm-hmm. So Jonah only got to play sports. I let him do sports games. There were no war games in our house. Now, I don't know about when you went to your friend's house.
We're talking about video games.
Video games. Yeah. So he could, video games. You could play sports games. So my point is this. And you can help get me back on track because my mind is all over the place right now. But it was always, is this going to, so Jenny, right? Jenny at the mall. Is this going to help Jonah or is this going to not help him? Is this going to give him a better life or not a better life? So with the appreciation in the car at the mall, I think everybody can agree that learning to appreciate people would give a child a better life, right? Mostly.
Yes.
But if we were to take this topic to money and jobs without bringing it political, because that just would go down the tubes. That would not be good. So let's keep our political beliefs out of it. We'll let Vicki Bonington, Vicki will watch this, I'm sure. Vicki will be that voice for us, right? When she's a guest on our show one day. But let's bring it to personal money and personal jobs and education. Because this is an area not everybody is going to agree on.
Certainly.
But some people are born on third base.
Meaning they have an advantage in life.
Period. And there is a very well-known quote, and if I'd known I was going to use it, I would have gotten who the author was of it, but I do not know. If you want to look it up.
My phone's
Oh,
filming.
here's my phone.
That's okay.
Okay. It is, do not judge a person till you walk a mile in their shoes. But there is another part to that quote that gets brushed under the rug. And everybody has a different starting place. So the quote that's typically used, do not judge unless you've walked in someone's shoes. But the part of the quote that gets dropped, I know I'm saying this twice, is, and everybody has a different starting place. So I think we should, I know we're going to wrap it up in just a little bit, so this is probably a good time to really kick it home and bring it just a step deeper. Let's go here with money for a minute and jobs and talk to the people who are judging themselves and those of us who judge each other, that people who don't have a lot of money aren't hard workers. People who need affordable housing aren't hard workers, right? People who have these amazing, penthouse apartments, have worked hard for their money. It's all a bunch of bullshit on both ends. None of it's true.
Yeah. And even beyond that, people who need assistance, they are not bad people who are sucking the system dry. They are good people who need help.
And I want to say one more thing because I know you're going to speak on this topic beautifully. So I want to say one more thing about that. That doesn't mean there aren't people who have no integrity and who do suck the system dry. It also doesn't mean that there are people with a lot of money who stole, did very bad things for their money. It works on both ends, but we're going to keep both the rich people who do shitty things to get money and the poor people who do shitty things to get money to a minimum right now. Because contrary to popular belief, that is not the norm on either end. We're going to keep it right now that we keep those two brackets out of it. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. And we speak to the part where poor people are not sucking the system dry and they're not working hard enough. And rich people aren't not deserving of their money and they blah, 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 right? And they should be ashamed of having a lot of money. Neither is true.
Yes, and more importantly, neither situation is a representation of their value as a person.
Oh, just let's stop for a minute. That's intended silence. Do you hear that? This is where taking a breath is like it's a tool. None of it decides a person's value on either end.
Yeah. You are not where you are in life as a consequence of who you are in life.
No.
You are who you are in life, and you are where you are in life because of an infinite amount of factors.
Infinite.
That relate to the world around you, your choices, the
Yes.
people in your life, events that are happening, and so much more. The nuances of which a person could spend hours and hours talking about of their own individual life. And simplification and oversimplification make it very, very easy to generalize in a world where people are looking for general rules and structure.
Yes, desperate for it.
But most of the nuances of someone's life are what make them who they are. And yes, we are all products of a general system, but we are unique in the way that we have been affected by the system.
Yes.
And we are unique in the outcome that has occurred within that system. And by that virtue alone, applying the general standards to everyone and expecting it to depict exactly how it is simply ludicrous. And that's why it's called the just world fallacy as well, is because it literally is a cognitive bias. It is a tool that someone's brain is using to understand when they don't have the nuances available to them, or the want, for that matter, to dig into someone's situation and see why they're at the point in life that they are at.
And you brought up the system. I'm gonna induce some disequilibrium right now. The system starts at home. This is the disequilibrium, though, because because even if you're going to argue or you're going to say, well, people make certain choices, right? This choice led to this. Yes, but if you're going to go that route, you're going to have to be fair and go all the way back to what the parents taught and what those parents' taught. So my point is on the disequilibrium is, sure, you can use that theory of everybody makes choices to justify either your own life or someone else's. And where we've got to breathe and find equilibrium from the disequilibrium that shifting this paradigm causes in people is that we also don't need to know it all. I don't have to know why blah, blah, blah has chosen in the choices she made. I just have to know it's there. I just have to get out of my own belief, which is that person did that because of blah, blah, blah. Whether it's somebody who's an addict, alcoholic, they're poor, they're rich, they're successful, they're can't find a job, whatever it is, right? They're gay, they're straight. The way the disequilibrium becomes equilibrium is by understanding that the way into a good life isn't through control and mental organization. Sometimes it's in accepting mental disorganization.
Yeah, and accepting that everyone has a unique way of dealing with things. And no one's job is to be the moral police walking around trying to create an objective sense of morality in the world. I think there's a few objective things that we can agree on as a society.
What are they?
I think they mostly extend to not doing each other harm, right?
Yeah,
don't
as long
kill,
as it doesn't hurt each other.
Don't kill, don't rape, don't steal.
Yeah.
Don't assault.
Well, even stealing.
I mean,
I'm not condoning stealing by any stretch. But I'm saying that even that, if you come from a life of poverty and the only way your brothers and sisters, this was not a case for me, but right, is to steal a loaf of bread, that we could even leave that one off the table.
Right. But I guess what I'm saying is stealing is a consequence of not having.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
If we live in a world where we're willing to support each other and give everyone what they need, people wouldn't steal necessarily.
Yes.
But
right.
if we
Very
live in
good.
that world, people still might murder. People still might rape, right? There are reasons that people perform violent crime.
Yes, that isn't about childhood. Sometimes it's a mental imbalance.
Yes. So I think what we can agree on for an objective sense of morality is don't harm other people.
Yeah. I would agree with that.
I would like to say don't harm yourself. Unfortunately, people do have that right.
Yeah, but I think that should be, I think Byron Katie has a quote, and I'm not going to get this right, but she teaches that if I am harming another person, including myself, I'm literally in a moment of insanity. It takes insanity, an insane mind to harm another living soul.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I think we can agree on the objective standards of don't do harm. But other than that, it's not your job to tell someone why their life looks the way it does.
I think that's very well said.
It's not your job to impose your beliefs on someone.
Or ours, mine or yours.
Yeah, the work is in understanding why someone, or being open to why someone is in the life that they're in, why they're in the pickle that they're in, or why they're in the great setup that they're in, and not necessarily trying to extract the objective morality of the situation and use that as a basis for your judgment, right? Just because so-and-so lives in a penthouse does not mean that they have lived and done right by everyone in their lives and done all this amazing work to contribute to society. It might just mean that they got into the right job at the right time and they got in on a company that exploded.
Or they had
for
an
profit.
Inheritance come their way.
Or they had an inheritance.
Or they won the lottery.
And to finish the quote you said earlier, you said if someone's born on third base, the full quote of that is, don't make the mistake of being born on third base and thinking you hit a triple.
Love it.
So
Say it again.
Don't make the mistake of being born on third base and thinking you hit a triple.
That'll keep us in our humility, won't it?
Yes. We are all on the same journey across the ocean, but not all of us are in the same boat.
That's right. Some of us have floaties that we grabbed on the way in a tsunami, and we got lucky and grabbed a floaty, and some people are in yachts.
Yeah, and it all comes back to your childhood and how you learn to perceive the world and the tools you were given and the situation you were given financially, emotionally, connection-wise. The family system is the first system that you experience in life. And then you get introduced to many, many different types of systems, but you will always see those systems the way that you saw your family system, because within your family system, that's how you formed your perception of the world. And that is how you project your inner world onto the outer world. So if you were safe as a child and you were loved and you were full of connection, you will see the systems in life as hopeful, as idealistic. If you were abused as a child, you will see the systems in life, how they abuse people. It will affect the way that you see the world. And you have to understand that the way that you see the world is not necessarily the same as the person sitting next to you. And it's going to completely change the things that you guys agree on and disagree on. And you may want to say, no, you're wrong. This is what you're missing. And absolutely, you have a valuable perspective to offer. Everyone has a valuable perspective to offer. But it is not yours to impose on everyone else as the objective truth.
I would like to input one more thing here, because I already have my spiritual friends in my head with the whole childhood and development. There are people who don't believe that theory. And that's all well and good, especially, when you're an adult and you're trying to work through some stuff. There's all different ways to go. There's the work of Byron Katie. There's the three principles. There's Eckhart Tolle. I say this all the time. There's A Course in Miracles. There is a spiritual aspect to things when you reach there. My experience, however, is in order to get to those places, sometimes some people need to talk about the shit that happened. There has to, Byron Katie says it best, the story is dying to live. And if your story is dying to live, and this has to do with the just world theory, right? If our stories are dying to live, the way out of it is not a spiritual bypass. A spiritual awakening is a natural outcome of allowing the truth to be the truth of the moment. And as you deal with each of those moments, spiritual awakenings happen. But it is true, if a child has been trafficked or raped or beat or whatever, even a smaller trauma than that, they need to tell the story sometimes when they grow up. That's why your generation is a big thing now called no contact. Lots of people are going no contact with their parents, and right, it's part of what the new trend is in healing. No contact. I don't know that that's right or wrong or whatever, but make no mistake about it. It's an attempt to heal something. So I think I just want to interject that too, as the more advanced souls try and impose spiritual bypass. Really, it just comes down to a matter of what's the truth for you in this moment, and how do we get you feeling better and more in equilibrium as opposed to disequilibrium and a balanced nervous system. And the just world theory is a coping mechanism that actually is rampant in this time in our life.
Yes.
Would you agree with that?
Absolutely.
We're past the hour. Is there more that you want to say on this subject? It's fine that we're past the hour.
I feel like we covered a lot and gave people something to chew on, and I feel pretty good with it. So
okay, good.
Yeah,
we'll see what Adam says.
Yeah,
bring it on down to Adamville.
Adam, our wonderful producer.
Adam,
shout out.
Adam.
Thanks for coaching us through these first few episodes.
Adam's the best, and Aaron and Visionary Creative.
Yeah.
They're the place to go.
Absolutely. Well, thank you everyone for listening to another episode.
I feel like we should end with should we end with a song or something? No?
That's what you want to end with. That's
the
opposite of what I want to end with.
I know it is. Well, goodbye, Jonah. You're off to Vermont.
Yes.
Jonah, Marissa's coming and you'll soon be on your way. You're looking good, Jonah.
I know everyone's thinking, wow, she put so much work into these lyrics beforehand. That was just off the cuff.
Woo!
My talented, wonderful mother.
Oh, and my talented, wonderful son. All right. Well, until next time.
This has been The Good Love. Thanks for sticking with us. And we'll bring you some more. I'm Jonah.
And I'm Steph.
And we'll bring you some more good love next week.
Yes, we will. Have a great weekend. I don't know when these are coming out yet. But anyways, all right.
Have a great.
Mwah!